Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Patty G Show. This week we are brushing, we are flossing, we are getting our teeth white with Babin Dental and Magnolia Sleep Solutions. Do you snore? They could help. That's the slogan we came up with during the show. A great time with Dr. Stephanie Babin and Dr. Randall Babin, learning a lot about how they started their practice, some of the exciting times with building a business from the ground up, and totally renovating not one but two different locations. All that to come in this episode. I want to give a big, wonderful shout out and thank you to the folks that bring you this show each and every week. Lakeman's Health Center and PB&J Productions. And also, don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the show. We are here each and every week sharing great stories, all from local entrepreneurs. See ya.
Today was the first time we worked together in a long time.
Y'all don't normally work together?
She's been off for a year and a half.
She wasn't off.
I work third Thursday of every month.
But today's Monday.
That's when I did work.
The new office is open.
That's right. So now you got to have the new office.
Yep.
No, she's off tomorrow. Lucky girl.
No, I'm not. I'm at Magnolia.
Oh, yeah.
You know, she's got another business.
She
A whole
does.
another business.
Couple.
No.
Yeah. 3 technically.
Real estate.
You have a real estate business.
Oh.
Magnolia.
You have
dental.
Magnolia, and you got 2 dental offices. You got one business with 2 locations.
Well,
Talk
it's
about
technically Babin
entrepreneur.
Dental Hillary and Babin Dental Picardy.
Oh, so like that, you got 4.
It's 2 LLCs.
Now you have 4 LLCs in your name.
Yeah.
And
So-
have you learned what an LLC is?
Limited Liability Corporation. I have no idea what it has to do with taxes or S Corp or anything like
It's an S
that.
Corp.
Still don't know which one to check, but anyway, there's that.
It's all good. But let's dial it back to before Babin Dental became a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Way back. When did y'all first know y'all want to become a dentist? Because I feel like a dentist is like a calling and not really an occupation.
I was probably freshman in high school.
Okay.
My friend's dad was a dentist, and she just always, he was always happy, easygoing. They had a great lifestyle. He made his own hours. I know I always wanted to help people, but I didn't know necessarily that I wanted to be in a hospital setting and, have to leave in the middle of the night because I knew I wanted a family and kids. So that's when I kind of started thinking about it. And then going into college, I got a job at a dental office just to make sure before I, went through the whole biological science major at LSU. And here we are.
Yeah, mine's similar. Very young age, when I was getting braces from a local orthodontist, and every time I just went in there, he was just having a great time, like chilling with his assistants, taking care of patients, honestly not doing a lot. His assistants did a lot of the work. I'm not going to name his name, but just seeing that, I was like, man, he's like got a great life. And looking to more dentistry and started working in an office. And then just learning more about, the full body health of dentistry, like heart health, gum health, all that connects. My grandfather passed from a heart attack. What if he had gum disease and didn't know? So that's when I was like, yeah, let's do dentistry. You're not really on call. You get to help people. And then, just went with it. Loved it. Loved taking care of patients and fixing teeth. It's a blast.
So y'all both worked at dental offices in high school.
Not high school, college. I was in college.
I was high school.
So you were in high school.
Yeah.
So you started like way, way early.
I had to make sure.
Well, yeah, but I mean like high school, like that's early.
Senior year of high school, right? I found a guy in my town, local guy. I was like, look, can I work for you for the summer? See what it's about.
Oh, yeah. Well, I started summer going into college.
And he brought me on. He taught me a ton. He's a great guy as well. Great life, like good lifestyle. So a lot of good role models that put a good impression of dentistry on me and kind of kept me going in the right direction.
Gosh, so then you get to college and you're not scared away by the sciences that they make you take.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it was more so like, is this really what I want to do before I change my major after, 2 semesters and then I want to be an English major or something,
Dentistry, when you're in college, takes a back seat because you don't learn any dentistry. You're learning basic sciences, some chemistry. The only dentistry you're learning is what you're putting yourself out there to go work in another office. So that's where you're keeping your kind of plan in motion to make sure you still like it.
Keeping your interest up.
College, it's just about getting the grades, and me and her were both in the pre-dental society for LSU. That's actually how we met each other. She was president. I was vice president.
Oh,
set the stage early, right?
You knew it was to come.
But yeah, college, you just got to get through, you got to persevere and get through grades and put in the time management to get to, apply to school and get in.
Because New Orleans is a pretty challenging dental school.
It's the only one in the state.
Yeah. So like there's multiple med schools, they have Shreveport, Tulane,
and then
New
LSU
Orleans,
also takes 5 from Arkansas, 5 from Tennessee. So we got to share our slots with a couple other states.
So how many slots are there in general?
When we apply, there were 65?
65.
Yeah.
I think they're
60.
up. Yeah.
They're up now, but 65, and you got...
And our year was the first with 65, I think. It was 60.
How many people apply?
And then, oh gosh. Hundreds, yeah.
Yeah. So you got to be competitive.
Well, yeah.
So then you get in, that's when you get to start learning about teeth.
But you've at least got some real world experience if you're doing
put
it
in
right.
the work.
Yeah.
If you did it right.
Yeah. If you're doing it right, you're actually working in a dental office, being an assistant, you're seeing the other end and just kind of doing the grunt work.
Got your hands wet, hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a requirement for dental school, but it's definitely
should be.
Helps you out.
I'm sure it helps. Like,
should be.
Did you have to write any entrance essay or anything like that? Okay, so you had
personal statement.
Yeah.
Personal statement.
And you also get letters of recommendations from your professors, and if you worked for in the dental field.
Yeah.
So that definitely helps.
I'm sure that puts you above the other hundreds of folks who are just applying. Here's my college here's my college degree, and here are my professors that say I know biology really well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Helps for sure.
So then you go to dental school in New Orleans.
Yep.
And what is that like?
School or the city?
I would say a lot of people know about the city.
A lot of people know about New Orleans. It's a hard city to go to school.
How is
in.
it? I was about to say, how is it balancing being in New Orleans, living in New Orleans?
So the first 3 months, you're like, again, you're like, oh, I'm in New Orleans now. Again, on my own, that was my first time moving away from my parents. So for me, it was big. But after about 3 months, and like you're so in the weeds of school.
Well, it's like a job. I mean, it's dental school is 8 to 5.
And then
it's a full-time job.
Study.
Yeah. Or you have lab work. So, I mean, sometimes we'd be up at the school till 10 p.m. doing lab work, or, then you go home and study for your test the next day. So it's not like a, few classes
not like college.
A day. It's full time.
Full steam. And then some courses will only last for 3 to 4 weeks, and some will last for 3 to 4 months. So it's not on a semester either.
So it's just on you have 3 years to finish everything, or is it like 4 years? Oh, it's 4 years. Okay.
Yeah. But you'll take a simple class maybe on like
radiology, 4 or 5 week course, but then you have gross anatomy where you have cadavers, everything, and it's your textbook and lab cutting on the cadavers for, And
then some
3-4
classes
months.
you're in the clinic practicing on plastic teeth, and then you move on to working on live patients on Fridays. So things just evolve. Like that class was a full year. The whole first year we were working on operative
first year is they don't set you loose on real patients yet. That's just the plastic teeth.
I was about to say
8 months. 8 months.
Second year when you start second year is when you start patients on Fridays.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then third year you have about 3 days a week patients, and then fourth year you only have one day of classes. It's
it's all just
clinic. Mm-hmm.
You're running a little mini clinic.
Yeah.
Taking care of patients.
So I mean, who are the suckers that sign up for the second year people?
Again, you're in New Orleans.
Yeah. So they have, it's very discounted, but also they have professors checking every single step that you do. So they know they're going to get decent dental work done, but
But I mean, the professor's not holding the drill there.
Nope. No.
They're not holding
giving the shot.
They're not, that's what the shot, like the 12-inch needle that goes in your mouth.
Come on.
On the table, that's how it looks, okay?
Yeah.
When you're laying down.
We take the cap off.
You include the syringe, yes.
It's not bad.
So, anyways, it's just local.
Yeah, and the professors are usually guys that have been practicing for 50 years and they retired. So they're really experienced. But it was a blast. I was thinking about it today, like some of the hardest but best times that we had. Because you go from high school, some people have huge high schools, right? And then college, you don't know anyone besides your core group. And then you go to a dental school and you got 60 people that you do everything with.
For
and
4
then
years.
you get a core group of maybe 4 or 5 people that you'll do everything with, study, go to dinner. Like, so it's cool because you form lifelong friendships that we still go on vacations with a lot of the people.
And sometimes marriages.
And
Yeah.
yeah, that happened.
We had a couple couples in our class, but yeah, it's
Like us.
good. Mm,
Yes.
Yeah.
So when do you start looking at the dead bodies?
Oh, like,
Oh, day 1.
Day one?
No, like week
What?
2.
Oh, I'm sorry. Day 4. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you start anatomy immediately. That's the
Really?
That's the foundation. You have to learn the anatomy of the head, neck, face, so you can, build on top of that.
That's insane. So they just,
Day 1.
hey, welcome in. Here's your person.
And it's funny too.
You get a tank group. You get
'Cause-
four of you around one tank.
It was always the joke. You knew that a first year was in the elevator by the smell. You didn't look at their scrub color. Everybody's got a different scrub color, first, second, third.
Right.
It was like the formaldehyde.
The
just
formaldehyde hit.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, first years.
Yeah.
That was us at one point.
Yeah. You were those ones walking over like, where's everybody looking at me
Mhm.
Oh,
funny?
yeah. But that was cool because that's when you finally felt like, okay, this isn't just basic science stuff I can apply. Like, I'm learning real world stuff that's going to help me for the rest of my life.
Well, yeah. I mean, like you said, you're
you dive
learning way more about
Yeah.
just teeth.
Love the body.
Yeah. How the whole body's connected in
And
some
to
way.
do that like hands on, and it's weird at first, but there's also like a respect and reverence to it because that's a human that once lived. So everybody kind of takes a step back and slows down, and it's very, very cool.
Yeah. A whole lot different than the plastic teeth.
A lot different. You cut them things up. Got to. You got to see what learn your
You get
best.
burn marks on them.
I remember buying hundreds of those at a time.
Oh yeah.
Wait, so y'all had to buy the materials
We had to
too?
buy the teeth.
Oh yeah.
We had to buy
Oh
everything.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So
Part of
if you were
tuition.
real bad, you spent a lot of money
But
on
if you
plastic teeth.
wanted extra teeth to work on, you had to go buy them.
Mm-hmm.
The same little coffee
dental
shop.
bookstore. The bookstore. at
So you
dental
walk
school.
to the dental
Coffees,
store and
bagels.
it's like, pick your teeth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had little bins.
Upper right 3, upper left 4.
Yeah.
And you would go and just work.
Okay, so upper right 3, upper left 4. What is the naming convention of teeth?
Oh, it depends
no one,
on who you
no
ask.
one understands.
It depends.
Wait, there's not a uniform naming?
America
No.
or Canada?
We're in America.
Or orthodontics.
Or orthodontist, dentist. Like it's
Why is
all,
it
for
different?
us, the same reason we use measuring systems different than Europe.
But that's Europe. That's not like one occupation to another.
Right. So for us, it's 1 to 32.
Okay.
So top
for
right,
permanent teeth, baby. It's letters.
circle around. Yeah, baby teeth are letters,
Yeah.
which is real weird because then you say number C.
Right. But it's really a letter.
Yeah. So
That's crazy.
1 to
A through T.
32.
Yeah.
1 to 32.
That's it.
So you got where does 1 start?
Top
Upper
right.
Okay.
Top right wisdom tooth.
Top right wisdom tooth is 1.
That's it.
Okay, and it works all
You
the way
got you
around.
got over, drop down, over.
That's it.
Oh wait, then it works backwards?
Start and end on the right.
Why?
Upper right to upper left, bottom left to lower right.
So they don't tell you this
How
stuff?
it
Like
is.
why
Turn back
they're named
time,
like
huh?
this?
I don't know.
So then what's the naming or numbering convention that orthodontists use?
So ortho, so they're quadrants. So they have like 1s, 2s, 3s,
Right.
4s. So they have like
So they'll start from the
4
middle,
quadrants with 7 teeth in each quadrant.
but they'll say upper right 1, upper right 2, and work back.
So they don't even count wisdom teeth.
Well, 8 teeth, but they
Oh,
normally
man.
go to
They
7.
say
That's
upper
a-
right 8, but they're not
That's one
worried
of
about
the
them.
molars,
They're not worried about the wisdom teeth.
Yeah.
That's the orthopedic surgeons.
Oral surgeon.
Oral surgeons.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Jeez.
All right.
I don't even
You
know.
want to know all the specialties?
Yeah. So then at what point do you decide a specialty? Do you decide a specialty in dental school?
You should, because to specialize, you have to have the grades. You have to take the GRE. You have to usually do research second and third year. So you need to know if you want to specialize to at least prepare in somewhat way during school. So after the 4 years of dental school, you'll pick a specialty. Again, go do interviews all over the nation. They look at all the scores, interviews, and all of them are different lengths as well.
The
Orthos,
residency, yeah.
about 2.5 years. Oral surgeons, some are 4, some are 6. So it's all over.
So then after your 4 years, when you graduate, you get your diploma, you're a doctor at that point?
Yep.
And there's no like residency requirement or you got to work for so long before you get your full
Not
No.
in Louisiana.
Yeah, not required.
Okay.
Some people do
Dental
like a
license.
GPR, general practice residency, like hospital based or
Okay.
something like that. But
no, once you're out, they're pretty much saying go
LSU
to the wild.
LSU is one of the best schools in the nation as far as preparing their students for clinical practice, though, because we do get so much work that we get to practice during school.
right, you have so many requirements to graduate. You have to do this many crowns, this many root canals.
If you go to dental school in New York, you're required to take a 1-year residency program to get your license because they don't do as much work in the mouth.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you're second year, you're starting every Friday.
Right.
And then you're gradually building up. Like you're getting significant hours.
Yeah.
Right. And we did see probably the hardest or worst of the worst in New Orleans. I mean,
So, like,
all of it.
Well, I mean, sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, how many patients would you say you touched during dental school?
Oh gosh, no telling.
Man, I mean, well, so you were working all day, but they gave you a lot of time to see each patient. Like, I mean, you would have 3 to 4 hours to do one filling.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's how you, I mean, patients, they're getting a discount, but they have to be willing to like spend half their day
Sit
in
there
the
for a
field.
half hour.
You also one
Over
professor is
a half
checking
day.
8 students,
Right. So a lot of times you're waiting for a check.
so you'll wait 30
or
minutes for a check, and you got to get a check at maybe for a fill-in
however many different
3-4 different
stages.
steps.
Yeah.
Oh, so you got to get a check at every step.
Right. Not just like, oh, it looks good. Like they like,
I know.
okay, is the patient numb?
the
Okay.
patient numb? You
Is
check
how
blood
does
pressure.
your prep look? Okay, now you can fill. Like, okay,
Or
how does your
even
filling look? Is
Put the sectional in, isolate it to make sure
Yeah.
it's dry.
Yeah.
It depends on your professor.
It's not just like,
some of them
yep.
would be like, go to town. Others would be like, I'm checking you.
Well, I guess it also depends on your past performance on your patients.
So, and their names on it.
Well, yeah.
And yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
like,
But also
by
oh no,
fourth
like
year,
I need
they
to watch
know.
Randy at every step, but Stephanie, we can let her rock
So like,
and roll.
and then in 4th year, you have one professor.
for
teaches
all
you-
65.
No.
Like you, 4th year.
So third year, you're split up by department. So like
Right.
you would have one group that did like grade you on root canals, one group grade you on crowns, one group grade you on fillings.
You
But
get a lot of
you're
professors.
and so you're switching. You're in a different dental chair every day, like
Mm.
depending on what you're doing that day. But senior year, you're in your
One
like
chair.
own little cubicle, and so you have one teacher that's
You have one
in charge
teacher.
of your bay,
Got
which
it.
is
So
like
you go to them every
8
year.
chair. Yeah.
So like depending on who you have that 4th year, it directs what you learn as far as what he feels.
Or she.
Stephanie had a she that let her just go to town. Stephanie had an easy 4th year. And then I had an old school professor
Because she knew
Who
it
was-
was good.
who was on top of me.
Yeah.
So, different experiences, but I think it both, depending on how you want to grow your career when you got out, it was helpful.
Yeah. I mean, so if you've got 30 minutes to kill, are you talking with the patient? You doing charting? Like you learning bedside manner? What are you doing at that
You're
time?
nice.
Well,
I mean,
Yeah.
you don't just walk
Yeah.
away and be like,
Yeah.
That's why you'd be like, hey, we'll be
I'll be right back. Oh, you
Yeah.
know me off? I'm sorry. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking.
Oh yeah,
Um,
charting and doing things.
But, eventually the professor trusted you enough that they let you kind of just go. That was only like 2 or 3 months. They were like,
Right.
what kind of doctor are you going to be?
Yeah.
And they were on you. Eventually, they let you roll.
that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to let you roll at some point
Got to.
because they're not going to be behind your shoulder looking
Right.
at you in the dental office.
They won't.
So then y'all graduate together, obviously in the same year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From there, where do you go? Like you're a kid out in the new world.
Where'd we go?
Where's life pulling you?
We ended
What
up-
did you have going on at that time?
Well, I was due for our first child 3 months after we graduated.
Yeah.
So
We got married between 3rd and 4th year.
yes.
So we were married starting 4th year, moved in an apartment together, doing the 4th year deal. And then, surprise, surprise, we got pregnant very fast. And so Stephanie, I still remember the story. You don't remember? You were taking your boards to get your dental license and Hudson's kicking the patient in the head.
Oh.
And you're like,
Wait, what?
she's taking her boards to get her dental license to pass.
Like she's like working on a patient.
And Hudson, your
Yeah.
11-year-old nephew,
Yeah.
is kicking kicking the patient in the head.
There's some things I do kind of block out. It's not like.
So how does the patient respond?
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't that
It wasn't
hard. It's just a little like.
but
Little love tap,
head
it's
move,
funny because like I'll be working on a patient, my stomach growl, and be like, I'm sorry, I hadn't ate lunch today. And she's like, I'm sorry, my baby's kicking you in the head.
yeah.
This episode of the Patty G Show is brought to you by Cortex. Cortex is the trusted technology partner for small businesses across Louisiana, delivering managed IT, cybersecurity, and smart strategies to help you leverage AI without the confusion. I mean, aren't we all confused by AI nowadays? As a locally owned company, we understand the challenges Louisiana businesses face and provide tailored solutions that keep your operations secure and efficient. Whether you're looking to strengthen your cybersecurity or explore how AI can give your business a competitive edge, Cortex is here to help. Be sure to mention the Patty G Show and receive a free cybersecurity risk and analysis to see where your business stands.
That was good though. But we I had a few months to work. We ended up moving to Lafayette, did the whole corporate dentistry thing for 2 years, and realized that just wasn't for us.
But we found an office that would hire a pregnant dentist, which was a big point for many offices that we were talking to.
Gave me maternity leave, all the things. So they hired both of us.
Both of us, same location.
Oh, but that's got to be tough as a dental practice to say, we got to have a package deal.
With her being pregnant.
And you're going to be here for
a couple weeks, and then she's going to take 12 weeks off.
Yeah, then you're not going to work as long as you're going to be off.
Right
out the gate.
So that's why we went corporate at first, because they were willing to do that. We committed for 2 years. We moved to Lafayette, and it was a tough decision, but it was probably one of the better decisions because of how busy we were. We saw a ton of patients. So coming out of school, we were able to really ramp up our speed, and I think that helped a ton.
Yeah. But then I realized, we didn't necessarily like people that weren't really involved in dentistry telling us kind of how to do dentistry, how many patients we had to see a day, all the things. So one day we were like, let's just
go back home and
buy a building and make it a dental office. So that's how it all started.
Yeah, Babin Dental was born.
Yeah.
So
to all her direction, literally, she had. I still remember she had one of the hardest days working in Lafayette, and I was seeing patients, whatever. Again, we getting off at 6:30 p.m. Right? I come in the office. She goes, "All right, sign these papers." I'm like, "What? What am I signing?" She's like, "We're buying this building and we're opening this office in Baton Rouge." I was like, "What?" It's like,
I was like, and I told him we're both dentists.
She's like, "If you don't sign it, I'm signing it for you." I was like, "All right, let's do it." And we worked in Lafayette we had to drive back and forth for a couple months.
At this point, I was pregnant for the second child.
Yeah, at this point we were second child pregnant.
Yeah. So, and we did have to move back. We did have to move back closer to do the construction, and with our practice loan and all that, they wanted us in a certain amount of radius of the office.
Distance. Oh, they required you to be within a certain distance?
It was about 5 miles shy.
But it ended up being
where y'all were in Lafayette?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So from January until
October.
Well, January until July, when I had the baby, we commuted from Baton Rouge to Lafayette every single day, and then he continued through September when our contract was like,
She has the worst restless legs when she's pregnant, and those drives would be awful.
Terrible.
I could time it within 5 minutes. She would start. I was like, all right, we gotta get to work. Yeah.
So then, November 2015.
November 2015, you open it up.
Yep. Babin Dental.
So y'all coming up on 10 years.
Coming up on 10 years.
Coming up on a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Decade of owning your own practice.
Yeah.
I know.
How is that?
It's cool. It's crazy.
I don't feel like I'm old enough to
to have a dental practice for 10 years.
When you think about that.
I've been a dentist for 12 and yeah.
It's been awesome though. It's been a wild ride. So when we first opened, Stephanie was there full time. And then I still associate it with other practices just to.
So he was paying the bills at home. I was making the payroll at the office.
Yeah. Right.
So we had that. It was a unique situation that we were able to kind of both,
Yeah, well, you had to.
Yeah.
You're just starting out. It's not like you can take all the patients with you from Lafayette.
Yeah.
You're right.
You got a whole new clientele.
And then sometimes you will end up buying a practice with existing patients, but we bought
You decided to do the hard way.
Just bought a building. Yeah.
We did the old school way.
Yeah.
Hung a shingle.
So my goal was just one patient on the books a day. Like if I had one person in my chair every day, it was good.
So did you hit that out the gate?
One person.
I mean, you
Might have
had,
been
you had-
family.
you had 15 family members, so we at least got you through the first 2 weeks.
Family, friends, like, and then at that point, finally, we took insurance plans and people would start calling. So yeah, slowly but surely.
Picks up. Baton Rouge is big enough. Everybody needs a dentist.
Yeah, even though there's a lot of them, there's still a lot of people that need teeth.
I feel like they're just really concentrated in certain locations.
Yeah,
so
I was about to say, what made you pick that spot right there?
Well, it was near kind of where we wanted to live. It was a good central location. We liked the building.
But it wasn't a dental practice before you got there.
It was actually a music school.
It was.
Music school.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Music school.
So not only did you buy a building, you didn't buy a properly fitted building.
Oh,
no.
You bought a music school.
Oh, no. It was a
Learned
maze
all kinds
So
of
you learned about construction.
of rainbow colors.
like post-tension slab that apparently you have to buy a $6,000 x-ray.
6. I think it was.
No, the x-ray. Just the x-ray so they can see where to put the plumbing fixtures to go to the chairs and, because they had to bust up the concrete but couldn't do the
That's right, 'cause
post-tension.
each chair is like water and drain and all
air
that
pressure,
stuff.
all this
Air
stuff.
pressure.
Mhm. Yeah. Learned all kinds of things. So at the second location, I'm like, is this post-tension slab? Like, I know about that expensive x-ray. Yeah.
Got it. So you open it up, first year of business. You're still excited to do it, looking back, or...
Yeah, well, I mean, at that point, I was still, I was really the only one there.
Right.
I thought, and he's like, why are you staying? So, like, your patient's in it at 4. Like, why? And I'm like, so, well, he understands now, but I'm like, like, we have to pay bills. We have to input things in, the system certain way. Like, all the things you can't do while you're seeing patients all day long.
Right.
I'm still dentistry mode. Like,
yeah, you're like,
fixing
I'm
teeth.
He's like,
cleaning
Joe
teeth and
Phil,
I'm
go
out.
Some
home. Like,
charts,
yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what are you still doing? It's 7. Like, I'm at home with the kids. Let's have dinner. Let's have a night. She's like, I'm still, like, if I don't do this now, it's going to build up and I can't do it tomorrow. So, like, she really ramped up learning business side, which you learn nothing in school about.
Well, they didn't even have like options to have electives, like business electives, nothing.
No, nothing.
Did they not recommend it in your undergrad to take instead of, basket weaving, do like a business ed course or something?
Looking back, I mean,
no one.
Like, so what is pushed in the profession? Is it like get out, go work for a dental practice, or is it get out, go open your own?
No, get out, go work for someone. I mean, and I do think there's a lot to that, just because you can learn only so much in dental school. It's not real world,
Yeah.
And so I do think going work for someone, at least for a little while, is very helpful to, see how they do things and just see actually how to run a business. If that's something that you want to end up doing later, it's good to do that.
Yeah. I mean, so did y'all know in dental school or in college that it was always the plan to go open your own space?
no.
I mean,
No
I
idea.
didn't. I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
Did she not tell you?
I was so focused on dental school that, like, just getting through and doing well, that I didn't think about years after. And so thinking about if I'd own a business or be an associate never crossed my mind. Because honestly, I didn't care, because I just wanted to take care of patients. And I'm still, like, learning and growing, learning how to be a business owner, because it's only been a year and a half that she's been completely out of the first practice, and I've been doing it on my own. So I'm really now ramping up on my business skills.
So she's 8.5 in. You're a year and a half
on
in.
business.
Well,
Dentistry.
she'd had 8.5 before you showed
I'm
up.
12 in, and she's 10.5 in.
Oh, because my little break. Okay.
A little maternity leave
yeah,
break.
yeah.
Oh,
She,
come on.
Jokes. She still worked here and there. But no, she's definitely got me on the business side and has been teaching me and encouraging me to do more, learn more. It just takes time.
Yeah.
Learn by experience. Business, the same as dentistry. You got to learn by experience. Yeah.
For sure.
Well, at least she's got those years of experience. She can say, hey, no, don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Do this instead.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think the hardest thing, honestly, is hiring staff. That's the hardest thing.
That's
Like
the hardest.
finding them or just making sure your interview process.
Finding the right ones.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the hardest.
Yeah.
So tailoring the interview process to make sure you kind of weed out the ones that...
And learning to read people and just, Anyone can put on a good show for 20-minute interview, but
They didn't teach you how to do that in dental school?
Oh, and yeah,
not a chance.
picking the people that are honest and have a good work ethic,
Yeah.
that want to have the same goals as you. They don't want to just come to work and clock in and ride it. They want to actually accomplish something and make a difference.
And that's all, treating your staff well, like making them enjoy coming to work. Like it's more like a work family instead of
Right.
just, a 9 to 5, clock in, clock out. Okay, like I'm done.
And then that balance to where, you can kind of guide them to still, be comfortable, enjoy their job, but then also work hard.
Actually work.
That balance is the hardest.
Yeah. You always want to be their friend.
Right?
And then when they start slacking off,
Then
you
it's
gotta
like,
now you
Still be
friend.
their friend.
Right.
Yeah.
That's hard.
It's a tough balance.
That's probably the hardest part of business ownership. Especially because we have to employ so many staff.
Well, yeah. So how
course.
many do y'all have at the one location? We haven't gotten, in fact, you'll open 2.
Right.
But at the
right.
one location,
So we have 4 in the front, and then we have, depending on the day, anywhere from 5 to 6 in the back. So probably about 10, 11
10, 11.
average.
Yeah. Different roles, front to back.
Yeah.
so
And then ourselves, and then now 2 associates as well.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's
that's a
that
whole
too.
nother curveball between helping them because they're a year out.
Mhm.
So that's,
y'all
Oh.
are now the corporate dental office
No,
that y'all
no.
once worked at.
well,
No, corporate doesn't mean multiple dentists. That means I don't know, non-dental people running
Corporate
dentistry,
means-
but
retail, trying to run a dental practice
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
caring about numbers and not people.
right.
Having associates changes it because now you have to teach someone a year out of school how to do better dentistry, how to become more efficient. And that's a whole nother ballgame outside of staff
But also respect the fact that they graduated dental school.
and have their own
They passed their
license.
boards.
know,
they-
yeah.
So it's
Yes,
another balance
yes.
there.
Like they might do things different than we do, but you tell them what's worked for us for so long, and
Yeah.
they can take it or leave it. But at the end of the day, they're their own dentist. So
Yeah, they got to be their own dentist and do it how they like. All you can do is offer up what you know works for you.
So then how is the transition from patient to new associate? Because y'all have been like the only dentist seeing these patients for so
Right.
long.
Right.
And-
And then
you
you
know-
got them coming in like, wait a minute. No, because it's dentistry and medicine is very peculiar about that. They're like,
Right.
no, I want my same person every single time. Don't you dare switch it up on me.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of patients that are like that, and sometimes it is patient specific. If they're just coming in for routine cleanings, like
Yeah.
we do the quick little check, like they're like, oh yeah, sure, whoever can check me. But patients that have seen us and to get all of their work done, they're like, no, and we give them that option.
Yeah.
It's
we ask them. We ask
we
everybody.
know you've seen Dr. So-and-so all the, this whole time.
We
Their
honor-
next appointment isn't until this day. We do have some, associates in the practice now, and that has been also a thing, like, and it's making patients understand, like, an associate doesn't mean they're like in an apprenticeship. Like they
Right.
are an actual
Yeah.
dentist.
So how do you,
Right.
So they're not
dentists.
they're just not the owner, so we've just been saying we have some new dentists,
Right.
I was about to say,
because
what's the translation to
Right.
patients to educate them?
Yeah.
Because we had a patient ask, why are they associate? Like what level
What
are
is an
they?
associate? Yeah.
right. So
They're like,
they
well, they graduated. They just joined the practice.
they're
He's like,
just not
well,
yeah.
associate sounds weird. I was like, you know what? You're right. We shouldn't use that word.
Yeah.
No, I agree. It sounds like
Yeah.
an
Right.
apprenticeship program.
Right. And so
we have new dentists.
yeah.
I think that's perfect.
So yeah, and we just ask the patient, and whatever they prefer, we honor. If they don't care, majority don't.
Yeah, majority don't, and like,
They're
especially new patients.
They just
I
want to
mean-
be
Well, yeah,
taken care
new
of.
patients, yeah.
And so they're cool with it, and we just go with it. I got some that are ride or die Stephanie, a couple of mine, but yeah, majority, they just want to be taken care of.
So do you also have any original patients driving in from Lafayette who are like real hardcore ride or die? Or
No,
did y'all make
'cause that
make
was-
any there? You do?
I do.
In Lafayette?
Well, from dental school, actually. I have a patient I saw in dental school. And, well, for me, it's different because I did those couple associates.
Yeah.
So while
you had
she
a
was
couple of practices.
ramping up the business.
Yeah.
So I've had patients follow me from some of those other practices. Some Hammond, one guy has been seeing me since dental school. He followed me. Yes. That's so
Like
cool
he
to see
followed
him.
you to all the different practices?
No, he followed me from dental school, and just recently in the last 4 years, he's like, I finally found where you are. You used to see me in dental school, and he started coming to see me at the practice.
Oh.
Yeah. It was awesome. But yeah,
And you were like, here's a new dentist.
no, that's special. I keep him. I got some patients that I want to see,
Yeah.
like he's special. He followed me. He found me. He's mine. I'm not letting you see.
Yeah.
I'm not letting the new doctor see him.
Yeah, he's ride or die.
Right. Yeah. You have several patients that only want to see Stephanie.
No, I know. And that's, and I like that. That's,
Right.
so we're definitely not pawning them off like on the
No.
new,
Yeah,
on the new
yeah,
doctor.
no.
So
But-
it's good. As we continue to grow the practice, they get the new patients, and they form their own ride or die patients that like want to
Right.
see them, so it's just,
But if we're booked out for 2 months, you don't want to make that patient wait
When they don't
if it's serious.
yeah, especially if it's a serious situation.
Right.
So then, but amongst that, growing this practice, you've always been into technology and into figuring out different ways to make money within the practice outside of cleaning teeth, filling cavities, so on and
Yeah.
so forth. So what are some of like the neat little things that y'all have done over the years that's kind of out of the box for a general practitioner, I guess, if that's the right term, a general dentist?
yeah.
So I would say it's out of the box. I would just say that it's cutting edge, meaning that any of the new technology that comes out, we've kind of jumped on and incorporated into our practice, to the point now where you can 3D print stuff, night guards. We can cut out a crown same day, the same, no temporary crown. So
So a lot of it, it's cool stuff, but it's really, the cool thing is that it's more convenient for the patient.
Right.
Like
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah.
one visit, like you're not taking off work 2 days for,
Right.
your crown prep temporary, then coming back to get it glued on. It's like, hey, like we're ready to make this. Give us 45
Right.
minutes. We're going to glue it on, like, and you're good to go.
and we've made other treatment more predictable in that we've taken, a couple scans and merge them together, and we can almost do surgeries before we perform it on the patient
Oh, really?
to make sure everything goes as perfect as possible.
So what go a little bit more into that?
So we can we have a scanner that we can take a 3D model of your teeth,
Mhm.
and then we have a cone beam that can take a 3D scan of your jaw, upper,
Bone, jaw.
lower.
So yeah, so you take an intraoral scan and then basically an X-ray
Right.
of the.
And so
Hard to-
we'll merge those models together, and the computer will stitch them together. And then say a patient needs to get an implant or crown, we'll plan where we want the crown to go so that it bites properly and it sits right in the arch. And then we can plan from that where the implant should go. And so with that position, we can print out a guide with the 3D printer and exactly place that implant where we wanted it to go before we even touch the patient in the mouth.
So like think of
wow.
like retainer over your teeth with a special hole where exactly the drill is going to go.
Front,
to place
back,
the
left,
implant.
right.
Yeah.
So it's like
down.
building like a jig almost
Yeah.
for your mouth.
That's what it is.
Very predictable, very
Surgical guide.
Yeah.
And it guides you. So the technology has made our life better. It's decreased patient discomfort because it's a slam dunk, and the treatment's faster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's really cool. Like we're doing stuff now that I wouldn't have imagined us to do even 5 years ago.
Right. And a lot of the, again, it's not like they teach you all this in dental school. They have
absolutely not.
tons of CE courses.
We're taking
and,
so many CEs to learn how to do this stuff properly. But even,
So
Awesome.
with y'all's license, y'all required so many CEs in a year?
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Not a lot.
So it's
I mean,
every 2 years. You have
every
to,
2 years, you have to get 40. But I mean, if
40?
Yeah.
That's
you're
it?
If
Yeah.
that's all you're getting, you better step it up.
We need 80.
Yeah.
And we're
80
doing.
every 2 years.
I mean, and right,
I mean, if I do something wrong, someone's going to jail. If you do something wrong, someone could die.
not die, but
You said the mouth is all connected.
It is. Oh, it is. It is. It is.
I mean,
There have been
It could get real
deaths
bad
from,
and be
from
death,
dental.
yes.
He's right.
That's what I was about to say.
yes,
Yes.
So-
So,
But everybody's doing
Needless
way
to
more
say.
than that. Yeah.
they better. I'm in a course right now. I'm getting 300 hours. So
In 1 year?
whenever he finishes,
when I
it's
finish
like
the course,
Oh, it's a self-study.
big
Okay.
fellowship.
Got it.
Yeah. So, you should
You should be doing a lot more
for your
than 40.
sake and your patients.
yeah,
Yeah.
more than 40.
Thank you to our wonderful sponsor, Lake Men's Health Center with Our Lady of the Lake Physicians Group. Guys, I know it's tough to get out and go to the doctor. I know it's challenging to find time in our busy days, but I promise you, signing up to be a part of this group with Dr. Curtis Chastain and Dr. Tyler Boudreau, you won't regret it for several reasons, but most of those being the fact of the time it saves, where you're able to get in on the same day, get that appointment done, and spend that time you need to talk with them about what your health goals and concerns are, as well as ensuring that the financial investments you have, you will be able to live out and see those come to fruition. So if you're an investing guy, you know all about and planning for the future and investing in the future. There's no other more important thing to invest in than your health. Make sure you go check them out. Our Lady of the Lake Physicians Group Men's Health Center, and tell them Patty G sent you.
Yeah. So, but on the technology front, you have started something totally separate of Babin Dental.
Yeah.
What is that? Your own little thing.
It's still connected to dentistry, but also, again, how dentistry relates to the whole body. So a lot of people, especially in our, Baton Rouge, that love to eat and all
South
the things.
Louisiana as a whole, of course.
But sleep apnea, so obstructive sleep apnea, lots of patients are even undiagnosed, and there are a lot of signs even within the oral cavity, certain things that we look for. Because, unless you go with a sore throat, how many times do doctors say, open your mouth, let me look all in there? Like, not really, So we're seeing that all the time in our patients. Right. And so we'll just, have the conversation with them. Do you snore? Do you feel tired all the time? Do you wake up gasping ever? And this, a lot of times they're like, yeah. Or they'll say like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to wear a CPAP, but I don't, I hate it. Like it's in my closet. And it's dangerous. Like it's a very serious disease that needs to be treated. So we're able to make dental appliances to actually help treat that, open the airway, bring the jaw forward, get that tongue out of the airway to where they can breathe better and, not have to use the CPAP.
I wear one. It's awesome.
If he doesn't it in.
I was patient one.
Patient zero.
I was patient zero. The reason she was like, let me look into this, he stopped snoring. And it's taken off into this.
So then that, like his 300-hour course, like I did a whole deep dive into that. Big, had to go to Chicago, it was a whole diplomat course to just really understand more how we can help the patients to treat the sleep apnea.
And that's beyond our dental patients. You're outreaching to.
Right. So, I do treat some of the dental patients, but we get a lot of referrals from MDs in the area that they're like, we have these diagnosed sleep apnea patients that aren't wearing their CPAP. Like, how can you help? So this is, through medical insurance, completely separate from dentistry. Right. We could see them at Babin Dental, but I have my Magnolia Sleep Solution, different company as well. So.
Got it. So you were just like, let me start a new company because this is fun.
Well,
it's just so different than dentistry.
It is so different.
We did it in Babin for about 6 months, and we found that trying to teach the dental staff how to bill out medical.
Right.
It's a totally different world.
It's a totally different world.
And it's a totally different appointment type. Dentistry is like, okay, we're going to do this check. We're setting up for this filling. This is like, a consultation,
a Q&A.
A head and neck exam. It's a full thing. So it's really different. So
you don't need near as much dental equipment for this as you do. So we're like, you just open your own little thing, do it, and it's way more relaxing. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. And it's
less labor intensive.
Rewarding though, truly. Right. It's like I haven't slept in the bed with my wife and I don't remember 3-4 years. And she said it's okay now because I don't snore. Snoring is of course part of the sleep apnea, but it's also like they're breathing now. And not only I have tons of women patients, but they're breathing, feeling more rested, and they're not, spending their whole night trying to catch their breath.
Not resting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's very, very rewarding.
So you've got Magnolia Sleep Solutions. You're solving a whole different slew of problems for people.
Right.
How is it managing 2 businesses?
Well, now that he's come in on the Babin Dental side.
Kind of taking over practice 1.
Yeah.
But you're taking over practice 2.
Yeah.
So how is it managing 2 businesses?
So this goes back to you have to find good staff.
Yeah.
So with great office managers and assistants and front, they make our job so much easier, or they can make it very hard, depending, but I'd like to say we have the hang of it now. Every now and then we'll get a curveball, but it's good.
So does it require like any special licensing or anything to do the sleep app, to do the appliances that you're doing with Magnolia?
I mean, you have to be a dentist to be able to do it, but I don't necessarily, like I said, to do this big.
You have to have a dental license to own a business of that nature.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
No.
that's a good question. You would have to employ a dentist at it.
Right.
Got it. So somebody has to be licensed to, because it's a prescription.
To prescribe that appliance.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it is a prescription.
Oh,
And
yeah.
actually,
yes.
you have to get a prescription from an MD
Right.
to even make the appliance.
So
Because
the
dentists cannot
okay.
diagnose sleep apnea.
when it's
Got
right,
it.
we
can
cannot,
screen and recommend the patient to go get tested with a sleep test.
and we can treat it with the appliance, but we cannot
An
diagnose.
MD has to diagnose.
Got it. So they have to have a whole process done before they even come to Magnolia.
Correct.
I think that'll change because we're better suited to treat patients with the airway.
Right, but I think it'll
we'll change
always
in the
be
future.
I think it'll always be in the MD's hands to diagnose that. But just because it's so connected to everything else, the rest of their health. But we can treat it with the appliance, but we cannot diagnose it.
And so from a majority standpoint with the appliances, you can eliminate like a sleep apnea machine altogether for just about any patient, or is it like a case? Obviously, it's case by case basis.
Right. There's mild, moderate, severe sleep apnea.
Right.
So mild to moderate, the studies are now showing CPAP and an oral appliance tend to be about the same efficacy as far as treating it. Now, when you get to severe, CPAP's still going to be gold standard, but if you have a severe patient with their CPAP in their closet,
Right.
They're not getting any
And
benefit
you bring
either.
a severe patient to a mild patient, you're helping them.
So do I think we'll get a severe patient to where they're not registering with sleep apnea at all with a mouthpiece? Probably not. But are we going to get them way better? Like the way that sleep apnea, sleep apnea is scored is basically how many events are you having per hour that you're sleeping. So I have some patients that are literally in the 60s. So that's more than one
a minute.
Oh yeah.
It's every minute.
Yeah. Or more than one time a minute.
And this is like you're stopping breathing.
Stop.
You're not getting adequate oxygen.
Oh my gosh.
So that's anything over 30 events an hour is severe. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say we get this person that has, 45, we get them down to a 10.
Right. They're getting better sleep.
A 10 is still, not great, but compared to the 45 and they're going to refuse to wear their CPAP, I'd say that's pretty good.
So we're talking this device what does it resemble?
Got a thicker, clear retainer.
Okay.
So, but it's upper and lower with hinges on the side. So they're connected.
Fins. I'd say they're fins.
So, there's
hinges.
There are, depending on which one you get, there's multiple different designs, but the one that he has looks like little, fins or arms, to where depending on your range of motion, and all of this is per patient, we have to do different measurements because they sell these things all over the internet and they're just very generic.
Yeah.
Your jaw is going to come out differently than his jaw is. So you can't put everyone at the same protrusion, but basically by bringing this lower jaw forward, that's where your tongue is connected and it gets it out of your airway to open up your airway.
Got it.
So there has to be some sort of mechanism to where the upper and lower jaws are connected so it can be brought forward. And, we're able to titrate it, adjust it depending on how the patient's doing with the treatment.
Got it. So from yours, is it comfortable, uncomfortable? You feel it at all?
Too easy. No. Pop it in when I go to sleep. No issues. Eating, biting.
Do you eat with it?
No,
No, we say like the next day,
Oh,
like
the
not
next
being
day, my
sore.
jaw-
It doesn't mess with your jaw.
No.
I got
Now,
you.
there is potential for it to cause some sort of jaw issues, but we try to alleviate that we make it's called a morning aligner. So it's basically a little
you back.
impression of your natural bite. So each morning they put that in for a couple minutes, just, make sure that bite's staying in check and we're not altering any of their bites of the jaw or creating issues that they didn't have before.
Got it. Okay.
Too easy.
So, I was about to say, it sounds way too
lets me
easy to
sleep
do
in the
it.
bed. It's great.
Only when he wears
Was he the patient that couldn't sleep with his wife for 3 years?
No. His wasn't that bad, but
It was pretty bad.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. You're snoring. The kids would call it, Dad.
Yeah.
When the kids say something,
it's time
really off. Right.
It's bad.
The wife, she just elbows you and rolls back over.
Yeah.
You know, when the kids, it's like, all right, now you got to address the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've got both of those happening, and then it sounds like you're busting at the seams from location 1. You decide it's another great idea to buy another building. Was it at least better than a music studio?
No, this is I don't really know what the actual motor vehicle something
Registration or something.
Yeah.
It was not a dental office.
No.
And it
Not
didn't
a
have any
dental
existing
office.
patients.
Still no existing patients. Still
You're
no
still
dental
starting
equipment.
from ground zero.
Still had a
So-
bus down.
So still you're x-raying the concrete.
No, it wasn't post tension
This time
slab.
we didn't have to
See, I
X-ray.
learned that.
So was that where you like feel so proud, like walking through the showing, like, is this a post-tension slab?
Yeah. I felt like I knew what I was talking
Real
about.
Had your buzzwords to ask.
They're like, this is not your first rodeo, is it? I'm like, no. Yeah, so it was still, gut number 2. We had to pretty much gut the whole thing.
And we were at our first practice. We just couldn't expand. Like ideal world, we could have
Just build on.
built on, go lateral, front, back, but we got other businesses around us because that corridor of Bluebonnet's just packed.
Couldn't go up.
Couldn't go up.
Well, I mean,
It was parking.
oh, our parking was,
There's no more staff or patient parking.
Yeah.
So we're like, we're gonna get another building, not far away, close enough to where it's almost like an extension of our current practice,
Yeah.
and just double our footprint. So we went from 6 rooms to 7.
when we brought on
to
the new
13.
dentist, we needed, I mean, for sure.
Yeah, we had to bring on the new dentist because it got to a point where we were scheduling patients out for 3 to 4 months to see either myself or a hygienist. So a new patient calls and, we'll see you, next quarter.
They're not sticking around.
No.
Yeah.
Patients want to be seen and scheduled immediately. So we opened a second location so that we could offer next week, tomorrow.
Mhm.
Today, even,
Today.
now.
Call-ins welcome.
Yeah. It's
Walk-ins.
same day treatment.
Walk-ins welcome.
Walk in, meet me. Yeah, come have some coffee. So we doubled our chair size. We went from 6 ops to 13. We have the new docs helping out at the current location, the first location, so that we can
And additional hygienists. So just
more hygiene,
more access.
so that we can grow and have more access to care. And
So
the best part, she came out of maternity leave.
you brought her out of retirement.
That was she loves it. She doesn't want to admit it, but she's so happy.
That's good.
She loves fixing teeth.
I don't know. When she was in here a little bit earlier, she was like, "I'm just going to sit and relax."
Well, we're 3 days in.
yeah. So you're still in the thick of it.
We're in hurricane mode, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be great. The eye of the storm's coming, and then it'll be over. The rainbow will be there,
Okay.
Yeah. And then it'll just be like, we just got two
And we'll
locations, no big deal.
and then you could retire again.
Yeah, there you go. You got to get back to full speed.
decades.
A couple decades.
No, it's great.
Sweet.
So, what's on the horizon outside of this new office? You looking beyond this office? You looking to add more doctors? Or are you just trying to get through the fog?
I think we're getting through the fog outside of opening this office and raising now we have 3 kids, the 1.5-year-old. I think getting through baseball season and getting out the fog, just getting a good rhythm at the new place, a steady inflow of patients and a steady staff, because right now we have a good base staff that we've hired and we're kind of borrowing some assistance from the first one. So getting everything settled, I think, is the goal right now. And like us, set small goals, achieve them, and then set another goal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that we'll open a whole nother practice.
No. We'll make these 2 the best.
And
And I'll
do
still have my
everything-
little magnolia.
Yeah, we'll make these 2 the best, do the best we can to take care of Baton Rouge. And I think
We didn't know that we would open a second one, so
we didn't know we'd open a second one.
The third one maybe going to be like, okay, was this a dental practice before?
Never
Okay, no,
thought.
next building.
Right.
Never thought we would open a second one, but here we are.
Here you are. You're doing
So
the
I'm
thing.
not going to say no.
Maybe one of our children will be the
Hey,
will open
there
the
you
third
go.
one. Yeah.
So
Maybe.
you only got at least a decade.
And by that, I'll just be the consultant by that point. Like, this is what you should do.
There it is.
You shouldn't do this.
Right.
Teach them business.
That's right. That's right.
I'll teach them dentistry.
There you go. The perfect
Dream team.
match.
That's right.
So before we get y'all out of here, we have a set list of questions we ask every guest at the end of the show.
Okay.
So the first one is, what is something you did as a kid you wish you could still do today?
I know that one.
All right.
Wake up on Saturday morning, watch cartoons, and eat cereal.
I mean, no one's stopping you, Randy.
There's no more. There's no more
one's
Saturday
stopping
morning
you.
cartoons.
I promise you.
The cartoons nowadays are just like
No.
they're a little.
So if you go to Disney and you go to kids, you can find the
don't
old
worry.
school stuff.
We-
There's
we-
Cartoon Network. You can find the old school shows.
I put on cartoons for my daughter, and she stops watching, and I keep watching. So don't worry.
Now you see the bowl of cereal.
Yeah, now I need my bowl of cereal. That was like a highlight of my week.
Yeah.
It was like weekend started.
I love it.
Responsibilities.
Okay, mine. I don't know. I just like a standing back tuck. Hadn't done a back flip in a minute.
Well, I mean,
You can try.
you can try.
I know I could try, but
Look, we'll move this table
That's
out.
an
We'll
achievable
move this.
goal.
We'll move this table out the way. You can just do it right here.
Mine's-
cereal.
Yeah.
But it's not. It wasn't a goal. It was, what is something you did as a kid you
Yeah.
wish you could still do today?
Back tuck.
There you go. See, that fits.
Yeah. Mine just came to my head first, so I said it. It's probably
No, that's what immediately came to my head. I just let you go first.
wasn't appropriate, but
It's appropriate because not every Saturday you can sit and watch cartoons.
you can't.
You gotta get on. You gotta get on the road, go to baseball.
Gotta go to
You got
baseball
things to do.
tournament.
You got kids to worry about. You got responsibilities.
House projects.
House
you know.
projects, exactly. So, y'all have been through and seen a lot within dental practice. You've been working for people. You've been bouncing around for Dental practices for Randy. You've been trying to get some off the ground, but for yourself, what are like 3 lessons you've learned along the way?
Oh, you want me to go?
Go ahead.
Okay, 3 lessons. Let's see. I feel like I've already kind of stated some of these throughout the talk, but
Summarize.
Number 1, get a good staff and team behind you. You have to have support. I'm still working on this one, but don't try to do it all on your own.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to have people help you.
Yep.
I'll also say sometimes things just aren't going to go as fast or as quickly as you would like them. So you have to have patience with the growth and just with everything coming together. I did too.
I would say always try to make tomorrow better than yesterday. And that might be your attitude about what you're doing. It might be your actual dentistry that you're doing or whatever job you're doing. Always just try to be better. 1% every day adds up to a lot over years.
Absolutely.
So if you get 1% better every day, you're going to be a different human in a couple of years. So I would say that's that's a goal that's easy to achieve. It's another one. You want 3 from each of us?
I mean, we can combine them if you want.
2 + 1. That's good.
That's 3. I probably got some more. I would have to think about it for a sec.
That's fine. So what is something you love about Baton Rouge?
I mean, of course that all of our family's here, but it's home. I do feel like we have a good culture and nice people.
Yeah.
We're just being here, my whole life. I feel like you almost never even meet a stranger or if you do meet someone that you don't know, y'all have a common,
Right.
There's a common connection there with someone, So I do like that it's a bigger city, but it's a small town feel at some point. So.
Right. And I love that it's home, but it's grown since it's been home when we were little. Like it's becoming a whole different type of city, which is good to see because you don't want it to stagnate and just be the same thing it's always been. So I love that it's growing and things are changing. And of course, LSU.
Yeah.
Well, come on. It's Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Got to have LSU there.
Right. So it's good to see the changes happening, including us
Babin Dental's
growing Babin
expansion.
Dental. Right.
So what is something I can do to help y'all?
Keep them teeth clean.
I do what I can. I've been flossing a lot more.
Hey, that's good. That's half the battle.
That's right.
There you go.
There's little floss sticks. Good or bad, where you like them or don't like them.
For every day. If we get every other day, that's great. Just tell people about your great experiences and that we're here.
Spread the word. We're here.
Yeah.
We're here to help. Whatever they need.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Magnolia thing is that's a
game changer.
huge game changer. So we'll link. We'll do the description. Solve your sleep apnea. Magnolia Sleep Solutions.
That's right.
We'll link it in the show notes.
Do you snore?
No.
We can help. No,
She's throwing the slogan out there for you.
Yes. Do you snore? We can help.
You sure you don't snore?
I'm sure.
Have you had a sleep study?
I've not had a sleep study, but I promise you, I don't snore.
You don't have to snore to have sleep apnea.
That's a good point. I don't wake up in the middle of the night.
Are you tired?
No, from the time my head hits the pillow to the time I wake up, I'm nothing.
No, but during the day.
Oh, no.
Oh.
No.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. So if you're tired, Magnolia Sleep Solutions can help.
That's right.
If your tooth broke.
Your tooth broke. Babin Dental. All in one stop. I love it.
Right.
Yep.
Well, thank y'all for coming on.
Of
Thanks
course.
for having us.
Thank you.
This has been a blast.
A lot of fun.